So, question: did you listen to the new Taylor Swift album?
Yeah, it's been playing in our house
That wasn't a
all
response I
day
was gonna
yesterday,
get.
today.
I sometimes forget that you are a actual fan, and it's not that I don't like Taylor Swift. I just don't listen to Taylor Swift a lot.
I just listen to good music. I really don't care what's attached to it. I
Listen,
don't
I
care
don't.
about the outlying sources of anything. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no. I actually like Taylor Swift. I just don't listen to Taylor Swift, and I think that's okay. But you ready to kick today's episode off?
Yeah, let's jump on in.
Yeah, and big shout out to the Swifties. You know we love you. All right. What's really good, Posters? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. In today's episode, a legend falls, balls get busted, and Aneesa looks very sad when another one of her friends chews her ass out. But first, I want to start off with the unsung star segment of the season. Nominations. We learned a lot this episode, the first being
Yeah.
stakes and claims. So tell me if I got this wrong. Stake and a claim allows a single contestant to challenge a rival for their partner. The claimant then faces off in a one-on-one elimination against the partner of the person they desire. If they win, they steal the partner. If they lose, the claimant and the original partner are sent to elimination. Each team can only use a claim once per season. Do I got that right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ChatGPT. We respect you. So, in your opinion, who in the current cast should be looking to switch?
I mean,
And we can't say Johnny and Gabe. We know that's a terrible.
we'll start with that. I am going to say it just because that'll help me say everybody else. So it's like when your game is apparently so far off where you two just don't mesh, you got to. So Gabe is going to be able to do it. This is perfect for Gabe because I feel like most things he should be able to take people down in one-on-one. Another person is Leo. After this vote goes down and Ashley pretty much is like, well, we're not voting for them and we're not voting for them. So we have to vote for one of your friends. And he just lets it go. Like, I think he's going to also do this and he's going to also try and switch it up because I think Ashley has this thing about her where she will push people too far and it will come back to bite her more times than not. And I think that's what we're going to see this season. I think Leo's going to try and get away. They're probably going to lose, go into elimination. He's not going to care because Ashley has to go into elimination and they're going to get sent home for it. Instead of her just working with him and then them kind of, because that's a fear too, right? If you don't want to switch partners, you need to be doing whatever you can to make your partner happy as well.
Yeah, but I think as a team, they might be able to work together well and perform pretty well. Both of them is more towards the bottom half. Well, not Leo, but Ashley is more towards the bottom half. It kind of moves the whole group more
Yeah.
towards the bottom half. But I think the person we got to watch out for. I think he should. I don't think he has. I don't think he's dynamic enough to do it. But Leroy, I think he should go for somebody like a Michaela. But but I don't really see him pulling that kind of a move. So, but there's a lot, and I think as the season progresses, we're going to see the dynamics of these teams change. I would like to keep it here in nominations for a little bit because something really, really kind of impressed me a little bit, and that's late in the elimination, Nany and Aneesa agree to burning each other. I thought this was a elite move by unlikely duo, really backed by Janae's paranoia and Anissa's unwillingness to put blood on their hands, and it just kind of came together. And just because of these two, I thought it was kind of elite. Some people on Twitter agreed, some did not. Where do you stand on that?
No, I think it's 100% the smart thing. When you know that, especially at that point, we talk about burn votes, right? When do you do a burn vote? Not in the first half, but if you're the last two people and you go, we cannot change the vote, let's just say each other. And the fact that that was stated and then it was executed right there effortlessly, because it didn't seem like it was a big conversation. It was like a whisper, a murmur. And while at first, earlier in the episode, I was like, Johnny, come on, just relax. Like, Gabe isn't the worst at this game. You can't say he's bad at it. You're paranoid. However, that type of play is something that Gabe should take note of how to play this game. And the little thing you can see where Johnny executes that. Because Johnny also doesn't want to get blood on her hands, just like Aneesa. It's just for different reasons. Johnny is worried that if she says something, it's going to come right back to her. Aneesa just is friends with everybody. So there's a difference there. But I think it was smart. Like, why not? Why not?
I'm with you 100%. I think the thing that really makes it elite is that it was the right move at the right time on the right people. Because,
Yeah.
we see that, the people voted down end up coming back. And so you kind of kept yourself clear of all that. And it strengthens the relationships that you already have. Still keeping it here in one bit, and we was talking about it a little bit. Leo finds himself getting strong-armed by the two-time challenge vet, Ashley Mitchell. He doesn't say her name and voices his regret, but Adrian threatens to end their friendship if he follows through with the vote. With Leo being in the position he is, do you think this was fair or foul of Ashley?
I think it was foul. This is my point though. This is why somebody could defect. It's like at that point, if I was Leo, I would have said, Ashley, you get a choice. You can't protect them both. I'm gonna avoid voting Adrian. You can avoid voting somebody, and we will vote the third person. That's how partnership should work in this. Because as soon as you just let Ashley have whatever she wants, then your game is already out the window. And this is still a pairs game, but you are still individuals because you can stake a claim. You can change your game. So I think it was foul. It was correct on Ashley. It was foul for Leo to not step up and kind of stand his ground. But for Ashley, I mean, you got exactly what you wanted. Whether or not that's going to bite you in the ass later, you got what you wanted.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. I don't mind the vets kind of forcing their hand and imposing their will, but when you have somebody like Leo, at least a conversation beforehand should be placed, or at least some type of compromise. I don't, if I remember correctly, I don't think Leo's voice is the one. Leo's vote is the one that really put him away. So there was probably not the time to really lay down the smackdown, and I don't think Leo's going to have a problem leaving you a little bit later in the future. I think it was foul for Adrian to put their friendship on the line. I don't think it was that serious. I don't think she respected the position he was in. I thought she could have been a little lighter. And let's be serious, Adrian, who has been performing well this season, you're not exactly a powerhouse, so I'm not exactly scared, and you may have just made a enemy that you didn't need to make. It could have been handled in such a different way. I think a lot of people handled it wrong, and that's why they ended up in the position that they're in. Moving on, Nany versus Aneesa. And I feel really bad because there's a scene of Aneesa just standing against the wall looking so sad. And I don't dislike Aneesa, even though her chances of winning a final is probably over. Aneesa finds herself compelled to confront Nany about her non-involvement in the fight between her and Ashley last week. Aneesa feels uncomfortable in her room because she was attacked and had nasty things said about her, and feels like no one really stood up for her or scolded Ashley for it. Nany protests, hiding behind her shield of not wanting to be involved. Now, Tyler, I think we both agree that what was said to Aneesa was out of line, but whose side did you taking here for Aneesa versus Nany?
It's a very hard thing because I feel like everybody can kind of relate to this situation, because I feel like we've all been out with a buddy or somebody that's done something or said something wrong. And it's just like, maybe it was out of character, maybe it was like a one-time thing, but like you have history of being friends with them. And so you have to weigh that, quickly. And so from Nani's perspective, I kind of understand where she's coming from, of like, I'm friends with both you guys. That sucks. Like, but I don't want to be in the middle of this argument because I care more about the game, because that's what Nany has made this clear. She made it clear to Will last episode that this isn't real life. She made it clear to Aneesa that this isn't real life. All Nany cares about is the game, winning, getting money. Simple as that. And she stays in the game. Now, from Aneesa's side, I also agree with Aneesa, because at least tell Ashley that you don't agree with that. Like, don't instantly buddy laughing about every situation, because then you're not, women supporting women. You're not standing up for a friend. You are agreeing that putting that friend down is more, isn't a concern of yours, because you're worried about the game. So I agree with both of them. I think they both have very valid points. If they weren't in the game, this would all be different. Because from Aneesa, it's from a real life situation. It's real to her. And for Nany, it's a game issue.
100%. And that's why I am more inclined to be on Nany's side in this one. Aneesa, very much can just respect the fact that, hey, you're both my friends. I don't agree with what was said, but respectfully, I'm staying out of it. You two are going to have to figure it out on your own. I do think Aneesa is bleeding real life with the game a little bit, and I think we can all agree that that Ashley was wrong in this situation. If somebody doesn't want to get involved, and you want to put your friendship at risk for it, fair, but it's not always necessary. Um, I think Aneesa really has to step up, take control of the situation, and confront it with Ashley, because that's where the problem is. But also, when it comes down to the gameplay, you're not on the side in their gameplay, even though you kind of pretend to be. You have to take some accountability on why you're being treated this way. It's kind of ugly. It's not really fair, but it is what it is. And I think Aneesa can do a little bit of growing up. I'm not mad at Nany's reaction. Of course, stuff like this is going to happen when Liquor's involved, but she made it clear that I don't want to be involved. She doesn't want to be involved. Uninvolve her. She doesn't owe you anything. I know you guys are friends, and friends are supposed to defend each other, but right now you guys are in game mode, and you have to respect that. Because if it was the other way around, you would want that to be respected. So the responsibility would rely on Aneesa and not Nany.
Yep.
Now,
So
moving on to one of my least favorite parts of this episode, because the nominations and the drama was there. It was the daily. I love trivia.
it's normally fun. TJ's laughing, and it almost seemed like he was kind of babysitting this whole thing of, oh, you're not doing this. Oh, come on, you're not. Nope. And it wasn't as fun. And don't get me wrong, I like the idea of this daily fast thinking, different heats. You gotta do an activity while you're answering trivia. However, I think a better way just would have been to do like a treadmill instead, and just have it incline as you got stuff wrong versus or speed pick something. But I think the fact that we had a little Stairmaster, that B didn't fit every competitor's feet, that is a huge issue. This is a time where this isn't about trivia. This is literally about
don't.
Yeah, this is about are you conditioned, and are you small? Because if you are in that situation, you should do very well. If you're in one of those two boats, I'm surprised Aviv didn't just do this for hours. You know what I mean? Because she's tiny, and that part disappointed me. It just wasn't as fun. Normally when you have trivia, somebody makes a dumb answer, and it's just kind of fun. And this, they don't even say anything. They're just writing letters on there, and so.
Yeah, and this was kind of surprising. The challenge knows how to do this. One, writing down the answers was wrong. Have them yell it out. But then again, it might get confusing. Or if it's all at the one time, ask them different questions. Two, eject them. That's one of the best parts. Fling them. Put them on a catapult and fling it like it's a Looney Tunes cartoon. Everybody complaining and touching and TJ babysitting really did take a lot of it. CT just throwing his hands up and going off because this whole thing isn't working. It just wasn't great. And even worse, I like trivia because it asks a lot of questions that I can answer, and I feel very involved. But you get this long spat of them not asking any questions, and you just hear the answer. That's not really fun for us.
Yeah.
This was just a misstep, and it was really, really long. It had to be done in 3 heats. So I don't know. You could have put them together, and they could have had them argue for what the answer is going to be. Just a lot of missteps, really, for a daily that they should have gotten. So I was really surprised. But I give this one, I'm not going to give it a fail, but I'll give it a D. Just not one of my favorite daily eliminations.
Right now, this might be one of the worst trivia days we've ever had, to be honest.
I would
and it's
agree.
has nothing to do with who won or who did well or who lost. It wasn't entertaining to watch. And it was almost like they could have been in a room taking a test, and then they come out with, yep, we got first place. And that's about as exciting as it was. I do think trivia, the best trivia ones, I think, are when they are, like you said, they have to get launched off of something, but it's almost like they're leaning back. So they're on a rope. So it feels like they're about to fall. So that panic hits, they're answering easy questions, leaves. This seemed easier. Also, just let them use a handrail if they want to. Eventually, it's going to get too fast if they get them wrong.
100%.
So.
You could have just let them use it. It wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. And it takes away from the whole TJ babysitting. But I'm cool with the daily. But Michaela Cedric does get the win. Well, Michaela has been just performing this season. And she talks a lot about plotting, but actually hasn't done a lot of plotting, which is a big reason why I think she's still here. The mind is there, but I think she's picking her battles and picking her moments. So I give her a lot of credit. CT and Tay gets the loss, which I'm, frustrated at because Tay has really quietly, Tay and Blue have really become two people who I come to really, really like. I love the way Sydney performs, personality wise,
It
and
sucks.
Will, I think, are the Will and Leo. These are the standout rookies that we've seen.
Yeah.
But speaking of rookies, something caught my ear a little bit earlier, and that during the A block, D made a statement that Derek could be controlled and said that he's terrified of the game. And the main thing that caught my ear is her saying that her social capital is greater than Derek's. We don't have to stay here for a long time, but would you agree?
Yes. Yes. Derek is always terrified to play the game ever since the beginning because he has a one-track mind and things should go this way. And if it doesn't go this way, I don't feel like he can ever adapt. It doesn't. And when I say that, it's like strategically. He's able to adapt and survive through grit, determination, being in these other alliances. Remember, this is a guy that was cast on Dirty 30. And when you're cast on Dirty 30, you have to look at it. Okay, are you a dirty player? Do you take these deals? Do you try and backstab? No. What Derek does is Derek latches on to other people and is just he's kind of like, I remember Jenna kind of said, I'm not going to rob the bank, but I'll be in the getaway car. That's kind of what Derek is too. Derek is the guy that will go do something for you and help you take down somebody else with no blood on his hands. I can't tell you the last time he got blood on his hands in any season I've ever watched him. And so it's not a scared game, but it's just really, he's not really playing a game. He's just kind of waiting.
Yeah. And one of the things that when I heard that, I got really, really offended. Oh, who do you think you are? Derek's been here for years. He's a beast in this. And I think I was more mad that I was like, well, she's probably right. I don't think he's terrified of the game, but he's not really
Yeah.
pulling any big moves. He's not being any puppet spring. He's not pulling any puppet strings. He doesn't have this long game plan and motion. And that's just how he is as a player.
I think that he's not, don't get me wrong, I think he's still like, he's in shape and everything like that. But like after his knee injury, I think he's more cautious on going in against some people. And it's like, if you don't make big moves or don't make big waves, people aren't going to really target you. And therefore you can kind of bide your time. And the longer he's there, that's more time separated from his knee injury that he has to, because I mean, it's different doing it daily. You can just do a daily and just get 7th place and you're good. Like you're fine. But if you go into elimination, it's like, you don't know. What if you get something that requires a lot of movement from your legs and your knees? And so I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but it would make sense to me if like he's just trying to stay out a little bit, if he can.
I think that's a good point. I didn't think of it. Didn't think of it that way. He might still be in recovery mode. I remember when Derrick Rose had his operation and he was medically cleared, but still took a lot of time to come back. Because he was like mentally, I still feel hurt. I still play like I'm hurt, and I'm just not there yet. And it took him a while. And I remember being really glad that a lot of people kind of like understood that too. Like nobody was just like, oh, you're cleared. You need to go and play. I mean, maybe a pundit or two, but
I can't believe you just brought up one of the saddest moments of like my life, man. Like I was there, man. I was on my TV. I watched that happen. As soon as he hit the ground, I knew what happened.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. But you know what?
I felt the world stop for like a minute, man.
But he bounced back and still had a great NBA career. Never really quite returned to that former shape or that former glory, but you can't. But he still balled out. Oh, you know what? Real quick, before we get into elimination, does Derrick Rose make the Hall of Fame?
I think so. I mean, youngest MVP in NBA history. It makes the most sense right there. I mean,
does the rest of the stats kind of stack up?
I mean, rookie of the year, multiple, like 1 or 2 seed seasons with the Bulls, like, all pro teams. Yeah, I think he does.
And an all around good guy. No real big scandals. Everybody loved Derrick Rose. But
I mean, the Memphis team he was on almost, was close to undefeated, made it to a national championship, even though they didn't win. And that's basketball is like college as well. So I think that gets into play. Back to Derek K. with the problem that we don't know, and obviously I'm just speculating about his knee. The problem is all these seasons, we don't know exactly. Like, I don't know because I'm not a spoiler enthusiast. I like to enjoy the show as it's unfolding in front of me.
I haven't been spoiled this season, and
yes.
I love that for me.
And so I don't know exactly when his knee injury happened on, whatever, and when this started filming. I don't know the timeline. He could be good, but yeah, that's all I think it is. I think the difference is that D is actively playing the game and Derek is passively playing the game. However, D is more of a target than Derek. So while she is playing the game and has some capital, she also has more targets on her.
100%. Nobody's thinking to themselves, we got to get Derek out. All right.
They like him. He's probably just a good vibe. I mean, he just, I guarantee every time they go out, he's just like cracking jokes and just having fun.
Listen, I've had the pleasure of actually being around Derek Kaczynski. He is so hard not to love. Just great energy, great person. And who doesn't like to have good people around? And today's elimination between the teams of CT and Tay and Theo and Adrian is called Busting Balls. Each challenger is given 50 balls, and a blindfolded shooter takes directions from a partner who can see. Whoever hits the most targets gets the W. This is the definition of a janky elimination. And I've said it before, I said it 1,000 times. These are the kind of eliminations you want to get people like a CT in, like a Jordan in, because it can go either way. I mean, Jordan, one of his biggest traits is his adaptability, but this is where you catch these kind of people, these elimination hogs. Even a Derek K, because if you put Derek K into a pole wrestle or a hall brawl, he's known for taking down giants. So the fact that they got CT in here and they got Theo, who is actually pretty good at eliminations too, Tay, who is 2-0, and I believe this is Adrian's first one. This one could have went anyway, but most importantly, even though it's a janky elimination, it was really, really fun to watch.
I will say this, that the only issue I have with it is I don't like when you can just, essentially whoever's blindfolded wasn't really doing much. Like, they just were trusting. I think they should have, once you completed 25 balls, you had to switch roles. And then each person had to try and shoot 25 balls, because that way it's not just, like, I really just don't like the eliminations. It's like, well, as long as this person does their job, we're going to win. Like, it doesn't even matter if I can't do it. It should be both ways. However, though, I mean, it is a pretty fun elimination. I like janky eliminations because you don't know who's going to win. I mean, it's so much better than we see a pole wrestle with CT and Derek, and it's like, can Derek pull it off? That'd be a great surprise, but it's probably CT. Here, I mean, literally the last ball is what, determined this going to an extra time.
100%. I love the way that tension was built. I love that when it started off, I was like, oh man, CT and Tay is going to get, completely wiped out. It went back and forth. I think the partner switching is actually a terrific idea, but there really wasn't much to it. You just kind of got to watch, and as it play out, it's hard to have a really good strategy. I think Theo and Adrian decided to hit the ones closest to them was pretty good, because when you got to go take the longer shots, you got a little bit more experience and a little bit more used to it. So I think that really helped them, but didn't help them much. It still came down to the last shot. CT and Tay goes home. Theo and Adrian survive for a little bit longer, but I did enjoy this janky elimination. Usually these are the kind of eliminations I flame. They kept it fun, they kept it simple, and the tension was really, really high.
Yeah, and I want to look at this now. I'm going to pull it up on my phone so it doesn't interfere with everything else we have going on here. But I believe, Theo himself has been constantly going up against really good competitors.
Oh yeah,
and he
continues. Bananas last season.
I mean, he continues to just eliminate big names. I just really want to find it because I think it's interesting, his history of eliminations. So let's see if I can get this. All right, so he beat Kyle in a hall brawl, which is actually pretty impressive. Kyle's got a really good elimination record. So let's see. Then he beats Johnny Bananas. He beat Kyle again. He beat Idris. Loses to Jordan. So this is still he was 4-0 and then
lose to Jordan. Besides,
lost to Jordan
and Bananas.
Yep. Then he went in. He beat Paulie. He lost to Bananas on a get back, and now he's beaten CT. So I mean, he's got a pretty impressive resume of he's went against the big three.
Well, he's also huge and athletic, so this is the kind of person you want to put against him. The Theos, Zachs, Fessies. When it comes down to the big three, when it comes down to these legends who have size and experience, you want to put in. This is why I never get when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna throw him into elimination." Like, yeah, but look who you put him in against.
Yeah.
Come on, you're giving him a workout. He's coming right back. It never makes sense to me. There's no point in taking a shot like that unless you're also putting in somebody who can do something about it. What? Jordan has to go into elimination? This is a shot. If Jordan's going in, send in a Fessy, send in the Bananas,
Right.
send in the CT. Don't send in anybody janky. He'll wipe the floor with them, come back, and then he's motivated to ruin your day. And you don't
So
want that.
one thing I want to talk about, because we never really talk about this ever, and I think maybe it's something we should start discussing more. Now, CT is trying to, I think, essentially give Tay a better matchup, just in case it's something physical, whatever. That's where Leroy and America come in. I think CT's like, okay, if it's like balls in, which is what, I'm not gonna lie, I saw photos of the episode before I actually watched the episode, and I just saw CT, and like I saw the balls, and so I was like, okay. When then I started watching CT got last, I was like, oh, we're gonna have balls in. Okay, CT probably balls in can go against anybody. Like we can trust that. So he wants to set Tay up. Is going for Leroy and America. If they could, like, let's go back in time before he says their names. Is there somebody else that he should have targeted? Not because they could beat them, but because they could have got the votes against them.
That is a good question. I didn't love the Leroy versus America vote. I was hoping that him and him and Leroy had a better relationship than that. But I don't know. I think America is a little scrappy. I thought CT probably had the ability to take a little bit of a shot here. He does have the size. D and Derek isn't the worst people to take out, but nobody's really going for them. I understand, Gabe might have been a good shot.
Gabe and Jake and CT are all like they were in alliance. They were in a room together. They're buddies. They're Team HQ. So like those two were off the table. I think Derek K was off the table for CT. I don't think he'd ever say his name. I'm actually surprised that he didn't try going for like Justin and Nany, or Ashley and Leo, because at the end of the day, if you let's say you target Ashley, you probably can get Olivia will probably say their name. You could get Theo will say her name. You probably can get Aneesa to say her name. You probably can get John A to say her name. So like you get 4 votes there. You might get another vote where 5 was what you needed. And like you might have been able to get a 5th vote actually. And you know what? Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's what I think. I think honestly, at that point, you might have been able to get that there, and then I don't know.
You might be right, but another person you could have taken a shot at was Michaela and Cedric. Kayla wants to take shots at you.
No, they were safe.
Because they won.
Because they won, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, I think that makes sense. I don't know, Justin's he might not get against Justin and Nany. The fact that these are permanent partners, it does change the dynamic a little bit.
You might be able to even walk up to like Leroy and be like, hey man, like I think they're trying to divide us and everything. I think Ashley is causing chaos. I think she's working with more rookies. Like, Leroy, will you vote for me too? And Leroy in America might have done it too. So like I honestly think that Ashley and Leo might have been a great person to go against, just to guarantee that it's somebody you're not working with. Because it appears to me that all the vet women pretty much are, actually, this is not even just of this time. The vet women consistently throughout history say, screw the vet men. I will work with these young bucks.
Mm-hmm.
It happens so often that we never talk about it, that the fact that loyalty from these vet women is almost non-existent season after season. They are more willing to backstab each other than the vet men are. Like even CT going for Leroy, it's not going against Leroy. He's just trying to give Tay the best opportunity because he let her down.
And he's not too worried about Leroy and elimination. So yeah, it can also be self-serving. But yeah, I agree with you with that. We've seen how the vet women react. And the thing about it is, the ladies in this game have so much power because the ladies in the game and I'm always glad to see this. The ladies in this season is where the power is. Even amongst the Derek K's and the CTs, the talent is obviously on the lady side. So And CT understands the ladies really run the house when it's all said and done.
So at the end of the day, Leroy and Adrian get the job done. They beat CT and Tay, and we get this great moment with TJ. TJ hasn't had a lot of great moments this season. We're gonna be honest. As a host, this is one of his like meh seasons. I'm gonna be honest.
He's kind of phoning it in.
I know we love TJ.
We do.
This moment right here with CT is fantastic. Like, yep, you were 2-0 until you had a partner. You had this scrub with you. And CT laughs. But then we get in all honesty, you're one of the GOATs. Like, literally, you've paved a legacy here, and I cannot wait to see how you're going to come back from this. And already, if you're not looking in the press, if you don't see social media, CT's already lost weight, man. He's already dropped 20, 30 pounds. He looks healthier. He looks like he's got more energy.
A motivated, fit CT is such a dangerous thing. All reality, if he decides to come back 40, I'm telling you, if we don't see him in the only a janky elimination could take him out. I expect to see him in the final 42.
As I was working on a story earlier this week, I just put on Pluto TV, and great season. The Duel was on. Duel won, and man, heavy hitters that season. I mean, there's 9 people on that show from the men's side ended up being champions. And the 10th person went to a final at least once. So like it's crazy. But if that version of CT from the Duel was on this season, he would make Jeremy look like a bench player. Like it would be insane. And I would be like just watching him on that, like that pole push against Brad. Like Brad's probably like 215, 220, and he pushed him back like he was an infant. No offense, Brad. But it's so I'm excited to see what CT's gonna happen next. Him and Bananas on Bananas podcast talked about it, and they were like, everybody's like, "Are you gonna be done doing this?" They're like, "Never. I'm gonna do it till the wheels fall off." And I think us fans appreciate that and like that.
And we love to see it. It's what we come back for.
Yep.
Now we had our first full episode with teams. How does your power ranking look now?
All right, to might be super exciting because I feel like there's like there's not a lot of parity like right now. I think we see the good teams. Yeah, I think the good teams are performing well. So number 5, Nany and Justin. So right now the main target is one of Nany's biggest alliance people, and another person in our alliance, Ashley. You know, so like Leroy doesn't go in, so he's kind of protected. Another person, Ashley, got her way. Nany got her way, and so like this whole thing kind of worked out. I don't think Nany cared if CT went home. She didn't care if Theo went home. Justin seems to be well liked by everybody, not even being mentioned as a target from CT. And overall, I think they performed pretty well. I think they mesh really well. I don't think those two will try and switch because I think Nany will be too scared to go into a one-on-one because Nany doesn't like going to eliminations. And I think Justin likes working with Nany. So that team, I think, is just going to stay till
they look like a solid
last
team.
Place. Number 4, Olivia and Will. Good performance. They kind of worked well. It seemed like all this heat from Will just kind of like evaporated and it was gone. And Olivia, here's the thing. Yes, Olivia is constantly in the conversation of being targeted. However, people did not vote for Olivia and Will. They're trying to take out Theo. And because that Theo came back, Olivia still has another week, at least one more week that we know of having a shield. And that's honestly, even though Theo is like, you know, they're having a kid together and they're together and they love each other, he's still her shield. He is there to protect her and get her farther in the game. I mean, granted, he wants to win. I'm not saying he doesn't want to win, but some reason people think, well, let's just go for her friends first instead of her anymore. Like, why aren't they still voting for her? Like, it doesn't make like also, if you want her to go home.
Also, with the way these teams are formed, a lot of her power has been neutralized. So I'm really, really excited to see how she's going to adapt dealing with this.
Their team, I think, will stay the same unless Will just doesn't want to be targeted anymore because Olivia's alliance gets targeted and he wants to just get separate from that. That's the only way I see them switching.
It's a good team for Will.
It's a really good team, though. It's just if it's self-preservation is the only way I could see him swapping if he does. Number 3, Aviv and Jeremy. Solid team, solid alliance. Again, I mean, it just seems like they're in a really safe place, especially with the teams that they're aligning with are doing well.
I hear a lot of trash talk coming from them, but I'm not seeing a lot of moves. I think that works to their benefit because why shake the boat? No one's really looking at you guys. And I'm surprised that the men aren't more worried about what Jeremy and how dangerous he can be in the final.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those ones where you have to like wait for the right time, right? We go
Yeah.
back to Total Madness season 35, and you just talked about this. Jordan's going into elimination, and Wes is sitting there going, and we know Wes's game. He only goes for people that can beat him in finals. Okay, I got to get Jordan out. How do I get Jordan out? Oh, I see a pit. I see a ring. Fessy, let's go. I think that's a Jeremy situation. Oh, Jeremy had a bad daily. They're going in. Hey, Turbo, here you go. Hey, Will. And now I'm going to get somebody out. So I think that's where we're waiting on a Jeremy situation. I want to see what this guy can do in elimination. I really want to see. You can be great in dailies. We see people be great in dailies, but like in elimination, it can make or break you. Number 2, Sydney and Turbo. As much as like I cannot wait for her downfall. Like if they win the season, it's gonna be great. But I cannot wait, especially when she goes, we can't let like a mid player like Tay keeps going into elimination and winning. It's making me mad. First of all, Sydney, you've never been into elimination. You don't know what it's like. I've seen great players go into elimination and lose against people they shouldn't. Rogan just did it against Justin this season.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think that's no disrespect to Justin, but it's just like, you don't know what it's like until you're in there. And I want her and Turbo to get humbled so badly. Like I want them to go into elimination and I want them to get like Leroy and Naya versus Nany and Bananas in like X's 2, where it's just like they get smoked and they didn't even have a chance. That's what I want. And it'll be great. And I think all of Challenge fandom will love it. Yeah. But right now they're performing really well.
They are performing really well. And as the higher they rise, the harder I want to see them fall. It is what it is.
Which is crazy because at the number 1, I have Michaela and Cedric. And Michaela has been at the top almost all this season. Looking at my notes, I mean, I've got Michaela in the top 5 from weeks 3 all the way till now. She never fell out of my top 5.
Super consistent this season, making moves, but not making too big of waves, playing a really smart game. Everybody gets at her, like she's always talking about, oh, you're dumb, you're playing this game. But look how she's doing. She's doing great. I think she's going to, the only problem with this is I think at some point a lot of people are going to turn on her and then somebody's going to wake up and just say like, Michaela's been kind of killing it and we probably need to get her out before she becomes an actual problem for us.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I will say one thing. People are playing this game risky because if you keep all the strong teams around, you're probably going to have to try and take them out in elimination.
Absolutely.
There's not room for everybody in a final.
There's very little fluff in this, and the teams that are left. This is going to get cutthroat so fast. And I'm glad that all of the back talk and all of the plotting is all going to fall to the wayside pretty soon. And everybody's going to have to shut up and perform. And that's what we love to see. I think we were all worried about season 41. Season 41 is shaping up to be a pretty good, rock solid season. So I think the fans are happy. I think production is happy. I think the challengers are never really going to be fully happy unless they get a win. But I'm loving season 41 so far. They're keeping it up. That's all that I have. You got anything else before we get out of here?
I'm good to go.
All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at LWC Podcast. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Love Word Challenges. And make sure you listen to Love Word Challenge Podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app. And remember, if you have Spotify, we got video on Spotify, and catch us on YouTube. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Lauder. This is Love War Challenges. Peace. You didn't do your bing.
Oh, bye.
You gotta keep it in, man. It's part of the show.
I was sitting there and I was like, yeah,